What makes a soldier surrender his soul to become death incarnate? On the prison planet of Salusa Secundus, pain was not punishment. It was preparation. These were no ordinary men. These were Sardaukar, the sacred butchers of an empire that ruled by fear alone. In the shadow of imperial grandeur, behind the silken robes of Carino aristocracy, there existed a silent order of dread. They did not argue policy or preach devotion. They killed. Without question, without remorse, and without fail. The Sardaukar were not merely the emperor's elite troops, they were the walking embodiment of his divine right to rule, his mailed fist in a universe riddled with rebellion. Their genesis was no accident of war, but an alchemical marriage of environment, indoctrination, and spiritual perversion. Salusa Secundus, the emperor's prison planet, was a crucible of suffering. Scoured by nuclear fire in ages past, it became a landscape of razor winds, barren stone, and relentless hardship. To survive, there was to be born again in agony. Children were abandoned to the elements and predators alike. The weak died. The strong were broken. Then rebuilt, not into men, but into weapons. Those who endured became Sardaukar. Each trooper was not merely a warrior, but a fanatic. Indoctrinated with a quasi-religious loyalty to the Carino throne, the Sardaukar believed themselves holy executioners. Their training rituals bordered on mysticism. Combat was not just art, but sacrament, death, not a tragedy, but an offering. Where they walked, resistance withered. Their mere presence on a battlefield sapped the will of enemy armies. For centuries, the legend of the Sardaukar served as the invisible wall protecting the Golden Lion throne. Their armor, ashen gray with blood insignia, was meant not to inspire glory, but fear. Their tongues spoke in whispers, for shouts were reserved for killing. Their movements in combat resembled a dance choreographed by death itself, fluid, efficient, final. No diplomacy could halt them, no plea could touch them, and yet their power was not eternal. The Sardaukar's decline began the moment their supremacy was unquestioned. While they slaughtered in the name of Shaddam IV, the seeds of rot grew within the Carino dynasty. The transformation of Salusa Secundus into a breeding ground for cruelty had once produced giants. But over time, the trials became tradition. The pain rote, the warriors complacent. They became rigid, predictable. While elsewhere, on the burning sands of Arrakis, a new force was being shaped by something older than empire: faith. The Fremen of Dune, another people forged by suffering, mirrored the Sardaukar in discipline but surpassed them in belief. Where Sardaukar fought for duty, Fremen fought for destiny. When Paul Atreides led his desert warriors against the Emperor's legions, the Sardaukar were shocked to find themselves matched, and then overwhelmed. For the first time in generations, they bled. For the first time, they feared. That fear shattered the illusion. The Sardaukar were not gods, they were men. After the fall of Shaddam IV, the Sardaukar faded, their mystique broken, their tactics outdated. Some were scattered, some slaughtered, others absorbed into lesser wars. But their legacy endures, a warning, not a celebration. For the Sardaukar were not heroes. They were what remains when humanity is stripped away, leaving only obedience, brutality, and belief in a throne that no longer commands the stars. So remember them not as protectors of peace, but as relics of tyranny, phantoms of a dying age, whose footsteps echoed not with justice, but with judgment.